My name is Michael Kaeshammer. I live on Vancouver Island. I play the piano and sing.
One thing I wanted to ask you was, what are we going to hear? What kind of what are you going to play? I mean, I know it'll be from your kind of selections, but just curious if you could enlighten us a little bit.
Well, I mean, before the pandemic started, there was like every musician has plans on releasing something and going on the road, and so that all went out the window for me, or at least we put it all on hold because it didn't make any sense. So I used the time to write a little more and to work on maybe revamp some of the projects that were coming up. So, well, I'm coming with a trio, with my regular trio, and obviously we're going to play some stuff that I know works, but also some new stuff. And the great thing with the trio, as you well know, is there's so much freedom. So for me to be on stage with the trio means we'll just kind of see what happens and walk the tightrope.
So who's in your regular trio, or who are you bringing?
Two guys from Toronto. Devon Henderson is the bassist, and Roger Travassos is the drummer.
Okay, and they've
And
been
I'm
playing.
coming out from BC. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that's kind of your regular trio these days.
It is. I mean, I have two trios. The last time I went to Europe, and when we did the PBS special here, it was David Pilch on bass, and Johnny Vidakovic on drums, and Jeff Clapp on drums, either or. And then if I do things around Canada, and there are one-offs like this, then Devin and Roger have been playing with me for years, and
Yeah.
it's a fitting glove.
Are you looking forward to travel, or how is that for you? Like after COVID?
I have to say the we did a show in September with the Kitchener Symphony, and that was so flying out to Toronto was the first travel experience for me flying, and I was a little worried because I didn't know what to expect, and you hear stories from other people, but it was very pleasant. I have to say that was I wasn't worried about anything once we were on the go, like in the airport and on the plane. Everything went really smooth. But I was surprised at the time, at least because I live in we're here in a little bubble on the island. But I was surprised how many people are actually out there moving around. I didn't
Yeah,
realize that at the time. So now I'm a little bit out of my bubble. So I'm looking forward to this as well. It has
yeah,
to come back at some point.
exactly. Exactly. So, kind of on that note, I know that this time has given all of us kind of time to reflect. What perspective would you like to sort of hold on to after this, going into the next phase of your life?
So I think as an artist or as a traveling musician, I will definitely never complain about anything that I used to complain about anymore. If there's a sound issue or if hotel, like whatever, it's gonna be fine. At least I know what it feels like when it all comes to a halt, and that's something that I never thought would happen. You don't think that way.
Yep.
So that will definitely change. And then, like you say, it was definitely a great time to reflect a little bit on. As I mentioned, you put a stop to the machinery that you go record tour, what's next? And you actually have time to go, well, is this actually what I want to do? Like project wise, if this is actually something you want to put out, or is there something I want to work on that I didn't have time to do? And so I did a lot of that through the last year and a half, working on stuff that I would have not had the time to do. And it might have even opened up some new uh, path for me as an artist. I wrote a book that we're trying to get published, which I would have never done if it wouldn't have been for the pandemic. So it's I'm seeing the positive, and I think it's I got something good out of it.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Do you still have family in Germany? I did just kind of wondering.
Yeah, my parents live over there, and all my uncles and aunts, and so I'm here with Josephine, and my brother is here, and that's kind of it.
Yeah. Do you have any kind of connections or do you feel like you're connected at all to the German music scene, or?
Well, it's funny because for years and years, I've been here for 25 years. And I at the beginning, I didn't really worry about, sometimes I went over to play in my hometown and, like that kind of stuff, or play the art festival. But I didn't worry about going over there or trying to get into the market. And Josephine is also manages me, and she's part of the German Management Association. So she's right in that market and gives me an insight into what's going on there. And so now I feel actually more connected to it than I did when I lived there 25 years ago.
Wow, yeah.
So yeah, it's great. I mean, I love going over there and touring, and
yeah,
and people are very appreciative of this kind of music too.
Yeah. Is there anything else you
Okay.
want to mention before we leave?
The set is too short. I'm just kidding, but because it's not like these days. It's not that often that we get to go on stage, so I'm going to enjoy every minute of it.